with the first part of my Entertainment USA series show on Maui reaching the number 5 most viewed video on YouTube. I thought perhaps you'd like the second part. Back to 1986 again, me, much younger, in Maui on Hawaii.
Actually, the number 1 unofficial crop in Maui, I gather, is marijuana. We had to film some of that. The police were always burning fields of it, but they wouldn't let us anywhere near the place. The number 1 official crop is this sugar cane. I've never been too sure what on earth sugar cane is used for. Probably making sugar. People are always chewing it. Doesn't taste very nice. Some people obviously think it tastes delicious. They even package it up in plastic to take home with you. And on the back, eating instructions. On the front, a picture of a little lad chewing at the sugar cane without destroying his teeth yet. They package up every possible kind of plant, bud and seed for you to take home with you. If you like, you can send a plastic-looking anthurium plant clad in plastic to your friends back home, or you can send them an original lava garden, which is a lump of rock with a shrub growing in it, approved for export to mainland USA. But best of all, you can send your loved one, through the post, a coconut.
Let's send it to Michael Grade, Esquire, BBC TV, London. I can't talk with this silly pen top in my mouth.
I wonder if it'll fit through his letterbox. On the slopes of Maui is a vineyard which specialises in the disgusting concept of making wine from pineapples. Thank you. It is absolutely delicious. I have to say, I thought pineapple wine would be sickly and sweet, but it's beautifully dry and very, very tasty, isn't it?
Yes.
Don't they hurt their feet when they trample the fruit to make the wine?
Well, they do if they don't have experience, but once they have the experience, they don't have much problem.
What other wines do you make?
The other wines that we make is a lush wine that we produce here.
It's sort of what, a rosé?
It's similar to a rosé, but it's a little drier than a rosé, not as sweet. And once a year, we make a limited amount of our Nouveau, a Maui Nouveau. We make that in a European style.
I believe you've won several awards for the champagne.
Yes, we won several awards. One at second place at the Atlanta Fair, and then at the World's Fair in Canada, we won a bronze medal with it this year.
One of the places you'd never expect to find on the little island of Maui is a German brewery, but the Maui Lager story is one of the great successes of the year. The Pacific Brewery Company is about to go public. It's so successful, even though at the moment you can only buy it on Maui, and I asked founder Al Klink what made him start Maui Lager.
Well, I like to travel a lot, and by traveling around the world, you find small native breweries wherever you go. Hawaii didn't have any native brewery, and since I have a very good friend in Germany that owns a brewery, we had the idea of starting this thing about 4 years ago.
Did you ever think it was going to be as successful as it's become now?
At the beginning I did, and then at times I thought it wouldn't, and then now I know it is very successful.
How long have you been in production here?
Right now we've been in production for 2 months.
How much did all the equipment that you've got here now cost to put in?
Well, what you see right here roughly costs about $1.5 million.
And how much will the stuff cost that when you're planning to expand?
The expansion would cost roughly $4 million plus.
Maui Lager, a Hawaiian success story, and it's delicious. Brewed with aloha. This is a fascinating little hat. It's got a solar panel set in the top which catches the sun and turns on a fan when you're out in the sun that keeps you cool. The only problem is, whilst the fan works perfectly, the weight of the hat makes you 10 times hotter than you would ever be. Heaven must be missing a mayor. We're not a nature programme, God knows there are enough of those on television at the moment, but we thought you'd be interested in seeing this. It's the largest single banyan tree in the entire United States of America. Roots and branches shoot out for yards and yards, some even needing man-made props to keep them off the ground. You can build a small house underneath this. It's 113 years old, is 50 feet tall and 200 feet wide. Hawaii has a lot of mosts. The southernmost tip of the USA is the bottom of its southern island. We visited the mainland South Point in Key West. The rainiest spot in America is here as well. One of the interesting visual sights is witnessing how landmass influences the weather. The beaches are almost always sunny, whilst the mountains are shrouded in heavy clouds. And this little town, Lahaina, was the original capital of Hawaii before Honolulu. Old buildings and landmarks are venerated, but the place is now much more like a t-shirt and souvenir shop. It's an old whaling village, and fishing is still a great occupation here, though mainly for the tourists. In fact, we spent hours looking for a whale, and this was the only one we could find. It's a sperm whale, although its count seems to have dropped alarmingly. Whale skeletons seem to get rather more respect here than human remains. Half of this grim cemetery has been washed into the sea by the surf, sweeping the human bones away with the sand. And though bones and tombstones seem unimportant, history is cherished by churches of every denomination, which are kept impeccable and often turned into museums to their faith. This Japanese temple proudly allows the tourist to witness respect for Oriental and Western gods, both past, present, and future.
Hello, Town and Country Surf Shop.
The local obsession with death is illustrated in this strange commercial featuring people hanging in a lift. If anyone can explain what they've got to do with surfing, I'd love to know.
Take it to the very top. Town and Country. Take it to the very top. Town and Country.
I was astonished to discover one of the big industries on this tropical resort island is ranching, and in some areas all you can see are cows and cowboys. So, Mike, is there a lot of cattle farming here in Maui?
Yes, there is. There's a good deal of ranching goes on this side of the island and all around.
How long's it gone on for?
Well, we'll be 100 years old in coming up in 1988, and so it's certainly been going on that long, and probably another 50 years prior to that.
It seems extraordinary because it doesn't look as though there's a great deal for the cattle to feed off.
Well, this is a very dry year we've had in this part of the ranch, this area, and it is dry, yes. But in the winter time, our winter, it'll get lush and green out here. You'd be amazed at the transition.
So that's when they get to chew on the grass.
I wonder how the industries like the pineapple wine manufacturers and the beer manufacturers are doing now on Maui 21 years later. If you know, do let me know. I'll put up some more Entertainment USA clips if you're interested. Let me know that too.